Hey friends, summer is here and the heat has arrived in Southern California. It's time for me to transition to all my favorite summer foods. Today is going to be a short video. I'll show you my summer grocery haul along with a few refreshing things that I made to eat this week. Summer is a time that I don't want to be in the kitchen cooking a lot, so I got these veggie chicken patties just to have these in the freezer so that I can make burgers anytime I want. I do keep the buns in the freezer, but I use those in a lot of different ways. Sometimes I'll add those into these flour burritos and make like a wrap with lettuce and some kind of sauce. But I also got the flour tortillas just to make some quick burritos when I get home from work. Sometimes if I don't feel like cooking, that's one of my favorite things to eat. And then I just got the romaine lettuce. Not my favorite to get at Walmart, but that's fine. I got these carrots. I can use these in a lot of different ways. And then I picked up this quinoa. I'm almost out of this. I thought I would use this to make a quinoa bowl. It will be super nutritious and also it'll feel light and fresh for summer. And it's actually going to be more like a quinoa salad with some fresh toppings on it. I got a head of fresh cauliflower. I like that with salads or sometimes just with a sauce along with some rice. And then I got some applesauce. I prefer to get that at Sam's Club in the big boxes. They come in at 33 cents each. I keep a few of these in the refrigerator. They make such a delicious and refreshing snack. And I think I've mentioned this before. I find that I eat apples more if I have this applesauce on hand. And then I got these mini cucumbers. I'm going to need these for some of the summer dishes that I'm going to make in the next week. And then of course I got some red cabbage because I've been out of this for a couple weeks and I use cabbage in so many different cold dishes. I got this mango because I was thinking about making a mango puree with it and then adding that to the top of like a chia seed pudding, maybe making that chia seed pudding with protein, try to make it a little healthier. And then I picked up these sugar snap peas and some broccoli florets. I like the peas and the carrots and things like that just to snack on while I'm at work. And I don't always get those sugar snap peas because they are a little more expensive, but they just look so good to me. And then I just got 6 eggs. One of my viewers was telling me about a sandwich that I wanted to show you guys. I don't know if I'll get to it today, but sometime here in the next 2 weeks. And then I got some celery. It's good for lots of different things, eating it cold and also eating it in salads, stir fries, etc. And then I got this garden rotini. This is actually for a video coming up, I think next week. And then I got a red onion because these are great in lots of different salads, and I think I'll probably use that in the quinoa bowl as well. And I was kind of surprised, but these little peppers were only a couple bucks at Walmart. They're like $2.48, something like that, which I thought was a great deal. And I got some spinach. I use this in so many different ways. I use it on sandwiches, in smoothies, in salads. Our family really likes spinach. And then I got some green beans. I think I'm probably spending a little bit more money at Walmart than if I would have gone to different stores, but I just didn't have a lot of time or energy for shopping multiple stores this weekend. I went to church and I went to the store, and then other than that, I really just didn't do anything. And I also got these strawberries and oranges, and I'm planning to use these again with my chia seed pudding. I thought about maybe like an orange creamsicle version and then one with strawberries. And then I got these apples because I'm going to do something fun with these. I'm going to show you a quick refreshing snack. And I got bananas because those are much needed for smoothies. So I'll be putting those in the freezer. I tend to drink smoothies a lot more frequently in the summer months. And I picked up some peanut butter because I am out. And that's just always good to have on hand. And then I got these Vlasic Stackers bread and butter pickles. And I've never tried these, but they got me with the marketing saying that these are super crispy, and I do like them very crispy. I had some from Dollar Tree and those were really tasty, but they weren't crisp enough for me. Sometimes I make my own, but I'm currently out. And then I got this already wilting cilantro that I put in some water. I'm going to need that for some of my meals and salads. And then I picked up these Quaker chocolate rice cakes. These are great for a refreshing snack. Not really any nutritional value in these, but what I'm going to add on the top is going to be nutritious, and it's going to make these tasty. I picked up some oat milk for some of the dishes that I'll be making. I haven't purchased oat milk in about 6 months, but I do need this for some of the dishes that I like to make in summer, and it is good in smoothies. And then I picked up this Chobani Greek yogurt. This is my all-time favorite flavor, and I've got something I want to show you with this today. And then I picked up these nacho cheese crispy tortilla shells. I've showed you these before. I just love to have these on hand, especially in summer when I don't feel like cooking. I can just throw dinner together in a matter of a few minutes, and it's actually really inexpensive, especially if you're just cooking for yourself. And this is a meal that comes in at just under $2 for one person, which I think is a great deal. I always have refried beans and lettuce in the fridge. I picked up 2 of these watermelons at Walmart because the last one we got there was so sweet and crispy and delicious. I usually spend my Sunday afternoons processing all of the food and getting it ready for the week, and it just makes the week so much easier. I like things that taste like dessert but are actually good for you, which describes my next recipe perfectly. I'll be making chia seed pudding. For this, I need the oat milk, some chia seeds, and if you're not familiar with these, they are the edible seeds of a flowering plant in the mint family. They are high in protein and fiber, and they've got omega-3 fatty acids, and they're rich in antioxidants, which, as I'm sure you know, fights inflation and a ton of other things. I've had this cacao powder for over a year now, but this stuff lasts for a few years. I use this in oatmeal and also in smoothies, but you could also use it in cakes and cookies. A little goes a long way. And then I'm going to be using some protein powder to boost the protein content, and this is unsweetened. I've had this protein powder for quite a while now, and also these chia seeds, but they all have a very long shelf life. I like having them on hand for times when I want something cold and refreshing, and in the summer I tend to make this type of food more often. Usually a serving size of chia seeds is about 2 tablespoons, but that really depends on personal preference and how thick you like your pudding. The cost for 2 tablespoons is about 24 cents, but I do think I ended up doubling it in this recipe because I went back later and added some more. So I ended up spending 49 cents, but that gives me 10 grams of protein and 16 grams of fiber just from the chia seeds, which is a lot. And considering that this is super gut healthy along with all the other benefits, I think it's actually a really great deal. The protein powder is adding another 10 grams of protein, so I'll get a total of about 20 grams in this. With current costs of the protein powder, it's adding 92 cents to this. So all in all, I think these are coming in at just under $2, depending on the type of fruit that you use. However, that being said, there's not a lot of calories in this, so if you wanted to use this as a meal replacement, you're probably going to need to eat something along with it. But I do find this so refreshing. And with this heat, I'm definitely craving cooler options. And when I said this is high fiber, I wasn't kidding. This has a whopping 16 grams of fiber. If you're used to eating a low fiber diet, then you might want to make yourself a smaller version of this to start out with. Your body does need to adjust to the things that you're feeding it. I remember one time I decided I was going to eat more raw foods, and my stomach hurt so bad because my body just wasn't used to processing those types of foods. It's the same thing with beans because they're high in fiber also. People that never eat them can experience side effects, but people that eat them all the time don't have any impacts at all. And I'll be using about 2 tablespoons of this coconut yogurt, and this is so creamy and delicious. It's definitely my favorite, and I think it's going to set this whole dish off. It's going to be so nice against the flavor of the cacao in the pudding. Strawberries are super cheap right now everywhere in my area, so I did use fresh strawberries for this, but for the other berries, I use this frozen mix that I've been getting at Sam's Club. I especially like to have this on hand for summer. This tastes so decadent with that coconut yogurt. I almost think that without it, the chocolate flavor would be too rich. Sometimes it's just adding a small amount of an ingredient that brings everything together. This definitely feels like a dessert instead of a healthy breakfast. And I'm going to put the lid on this and take the rest of this to go because I do have to get to work. And I did run out of time, so I wasn't able to make the mango one, but this is what it could have looked like. It looks like she has mint in this, which goes very well with mango, and it's so refreshing for summer. If you have a small narrow glass, you can make it look so pretty just by layering the ingredients. And then I wanted to show you how I've been using these chocolate flavored rice cakes because it is so refreshing and delicious. And again, I'm using the coconut yogurt. This is one of my favorite summertime snacks. It's so refreshing. And one of my favorite desserts is angel food cake with whipped cream and strawberries. And this does kind of remind me of that. I could just eat this all day long, actually. It's that good. But there are lots of different things that you can do with these little rice cakes. They're delicious with just peanut butter. I tried one of these as a snack at my office and I added some chunky peanut butter to it and it was so delicious just like that. But I thought it would be good to try this with some thin sliced Granny Smith apples. And this was delicious also. This actually works with any type of fruit. I'm sure bananas would be good. I also tried with some blackberries. I think my favorite though is just with the strawberries. It's just so creamy and so delicious. It just hits all the right notes for me. I'm out of time today, but hopefully I'll be back next week with an extreme budget video. Thanks so much for watching, friends. I'll see you Sunday.
Morning has broken, my windows are open. Wanna feel the wind blow through my hair. Which way do I follow? What happens tomorrow? I turn to you and hope you can guide the way.